Evan's hair off of Good Time. Just tough. And I'm like, I can't do nothing with this. So braid it up. I want to get dreads. So that's my next goal.
That's gonna be nice on you.
Yeah. So I started them, and then the pandemic happened.
Oh, that's
and then I was like, I can't really keep maintenance up on them like how I want to.
Right.
So I just combed them out, and I was like, I'll get them back again eventually. And then by that time, my hair would have grown a little bit more, so they'll be a little longer.
It's like, it's interesting because I've seen this lady and she gets her hair braided, but she has locks.
Oh
yeah. You know, there's different type of locks though.
What do you mean? I mean, it is different kind, but like she had like some thick ones, like, and her hair was still braided. So I'll have to send you her Instagram.
Please do. I'm trying to get instant locks. Like they'll lock my hair and then they crochet the rest of it.
Oh yeah, my cousin got those.
So it's like it's your hair, but you you don't have to go through the whole dreading process because they crochet it for you. If your cousin is out here and she has a loctician, can you send me her information?
Yes, I will. I think the lady's in Hayward.
Oh, okay, even better because I'm in San Leandro.
Yep.
Nice.
Look at that. Equaling too.
With the plugs. I love us Black women. Always got a plug.
Okay.
Tenilej and Andy know everybody.
Hey, what
they
you
got
need?
Somebody for you, right? They know everybody.
We're gonna make it happen.
You like,
I love it.
That sounds familiar. Hold on one second.
That's my cousin. That be too much. No, that's my cousin.
Exactly.
Like, how is everybody your cousin? She be know.
That's my son. That's my son, for real. Like, that's your cousin? Like,
is that your cousin? That's my cousin.
Right.
Like, who is this?
Like, no, mom, that's our cousin. I'd be like, okay, son.
I love it.
All right, Tenilej, kick us off.
Okay.
Before I start, is my music loud? Do I need to turn it off?
I can't hear it.
I didn't even know you had music playing.
Me either.
I'm just in the vibe. I'm like, hey.
I see. I didn't know why she was vibing. I was like, she's just happy, bless her. I like she just in her own vibe in her own music. I'm like, go ahead.
I'm happy y'all can't hear it because I'm over here jamming.
I cannot hear it. I see you though.
Right. Like, what is she moving to?
Right.
You like get on the imaginary beat with her.
Just over there blessed.
Right. Hello, guys.
All right. So welcome back to our final episode of I'm sorry, y'all. What is it?
Our Powerful Women Series. I'm gonna need you to get it.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say empowered women. I didn't want to say the wrong word. Okay,
right.
So boom. All right. So welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our final episode for Powerful Women Series. And we have our very special guest, Michelle Mocha. She is an author, poet extraordinaire, traveler, educated, wonderful, blessed auntie Black woman, okay? Yes. And she is someone who has vibes upon vibes upon vibes. And so we are sitting with her today to talk a little bit about her journey and who has shown her how to be a powerful woman and how she relates and shares that with other women today. So welcome.
Thank you. That was such a nice welcome.
Look, hey.
I feel so blessed, so honored. Like it's just amazing to be recognized by your peers and your sisters. It is amazing. So thank you, ladies, for having me.
Yes,
always
so have you. I love your guys every time. That's why I was up here dancing earlier. I was like, yes, good.
I was like, I'm so hyped. Like I'm just in a good spirit, and I was like, oh, I gotta get ready. I was a little late. I was like, I gotta get my tea, but I was like, excited to be here. And then all you ladies pop up and all of y'all are just glowing and happy and in your own vibe yourselves. What? And I'm like, I just feel that energy and it just feels good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You
love to hear that.
Right.
That good vibes, good vibes.
Yes. We need, listen, during these times, we need nothing but good vibes.
Right.
Exactly.
Completely agree. Y'all gonna have to excuse my background. I'm walking, but that relates to good vibes. You got to get your mind right. Got to get your body right.
Exactly.
Oh, men, we love it though.
Listen, if your mind ain't right, your body ain't right. So
that's very true.
That part. Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You gotta have a strong mind.
Exactly. So we're not mad at you, Angelisa. Get it. Yes, get it for us. We feel it through the screen.
We do.
There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take y'all here one day. It's really pretty. Very serene.
Take us on your journey.
Yes.
Literally. So we're gonna just tap in. So Mocha, if you could tell us, Andrea actually bought one of your books, which is where we met. At Bays. I always say the title wrong, like Bays at the Bay.
It was Bays in the Bay. Yeah, it was an event. Andy walked in and I was like, hey.
Yes.
Like legit, like I didn't know her. I didn't never met her. She walked in and I was just like, hey. And we started talking and connected and then didn't tell her like I was an author, didn't tell her anything. And then later met you ladies upstairs and then we connected outside and we talked again. And it was just good vibes. That was an event that Kalu hosted and hopefully she will be hosting more because they are needed. Like
that was a good one.
I love Kalu. Just so I know, I love Kalu. I love her energy. She's such a wonderful person. So really she is. And so like, everybody goes through their things, but she is like a leading example of, how several ways of how you may want to be or something to do, like especially like her as an entrepreneur. So love that. And again, good vibes. She is, giving like, she's warm, she's open. And that's what we love about you, Mocha, because we connected again, like, excuse me, where can we eat around here?
I was like, okay, go up a block.
Right.
Like she was from here.
Like you gonna run into this, eat there. Right. But it's just really good. For me, coming from, I'm originally from New Jersey. So born and raised in Jersey, and I've been out here for 7.5 years. And being out here and like really growing, developing more of me, as well as the circle around me, has been me showing up as me. Right. And it's like the only way that I could really thrive is to only be me. And that's like, I only know how to be me. Over the years, I've learned how to filter me, because I used to go 0 to 100, but my 100 was pop off 100. Whereas my 100 now is like just overly positive. It's like, it's still 0 to 100, but I've learned how to filter myself. And being out here, like many have said, I don't even realize you're not from the Bay. It makes me feel really good to know that my presence and who I am is accepted, and to feel that love and not be home, but actually be home within my spirit, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I love that you said that too, because a lot of people, when they come out here, are, like they say that we don't have like that hospitality out here. They be like, right, from the Bay.
Oh, no. Y'all hard. Y'all hard.
Right.
Where it be like, we don't really
y'all are hard.
Like,
but it's like, it's hard in a way of y'all. This is how I say it. I've seen it around me. Y'all can sense when it's not genuine.
Right.
I feel like when you sense that, it's like, I'm not even about to waste time on that because y'all not genuine. You're not from here. You're not even trying to understand here. You don't even know who you are. Like, how can we connect? And I felt that. And here's the crazy part. I've created my family out here. They're all natives. And it's like, I gravitated towards them and they just accepted me. And I was like, and now it feels like love. Like, I'm like, I know about the Bay, but I'm not from the Bay. But it's like, I've been connected, interwoven into it, that it feels good. And the only way you can do that is be you. Cause listen, y'all tough.
Y'all tough I always say we pick up on genuine vibes for sure.
And we didn't even, look. Go ahead, Angelisa.
I was just saying we pick up on genuine vibes for sure. And if it's not genuine, you will be asked to leave.
Correct.
Bye.
Yes, like, nope, we good. And you don't even say it. You just like, it's a look or it's a smooth walk off. And I'm just like,
that walk off, that's me right here.
Well, nice knowing.
So, yeah, it's just, and that's what I've known, like, over the years. Like, I guess my purpose and my gift is connecting with people. So it became it's so natural for me. And it's just me being the light that I am and people gravitating towards that light. But it's like, I don't know why, like, I meet all different types of people, but I'm like, that's my purpose. Like, that's my passion. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy that aspect of life. I enjoy giving my perspective to people and people wanting to hear it. Like, I love that because in my eyes, I'm like, I just lit something in you and now you about to go off and take off. And that makes me so happy. Like, I legit, there has to be a term, and I don't know what the term is. It has to be
you
like,
gotta create one. Create it.
Because I'm like, there has to be a term of joy out of other people's joy. I don't even know how to, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to.
Like, joy out of seeing other people get fired up.
Yes, because it inspires me.
Yep.
Yes, it has to be another word for inspiration, like
it has
inspiration on top of inspiration. Like,
we're gonna come up with it.
We gonna have like, we legit gonna have.
Like, I just felt her aura. I was like, oh, I like her. And Tenilej and Angelisa was late, so I was there by myself.
Why she had to say that?
She did. She told us that when we was there too.
Hey,
y'all slow.
They was still in Antioch. I'm like,
you were there and you didn't walk in. Like, I knew you. I don't know. Maybe you were like, oh, my girl's ain't here. I'm a little nervous. I don't know who here. I don't know. But I was like, hey, girl.
Right.
You with family.
I was like, hey, look.
Yeah. And that's how it definitely felt. So it was good. I love meeting people under those circumstances at those type of events. It was just like a lot of love, and I'm glad that we're just here talking to you. Like, really. And I'm just gonna put out there for those who don't know, because y'all don't know, this is our second time doing this. And our first interview was very powerful, but Mocha, well, her first name is Michelle, by the way, okay? So but everybody calls her Mocha. But she's just a wonderful person. And like she was just saying, like, when you speak, you are like literally pouring into people. Like, you could be like that Asian dude that's running around on Instagram right now counting. And and I'd be like poured into my spirit. You'd be like 1, 2, 3, and I'd be like, ooh,
45, 46. I was like, you gotta hit them numbers, bro. Hit them numbers.
You could be doing that literally and pouring into somebody. And so I just think that it's your spirit, really. And so with that being said, you were at the event that Kalu was hosting and put together, and Andrea bought the book. Andrea, can you speak to the book a little bit? And then Mocha, can you tell us, why you came up with that and how it all came together?
Yes.
I should have pulled it out, but the book is Give a Little, Gain a Lot. And I love the book. This is actually my second time reading it because in the book it's action items. Yeah. So you know, the first time I was just like reading through and I was like, okay, I could put a little down and then I'll go back, because some of the questions, it really have you thinking like, you know, who are you and what are some things that you're passionate about? Like the favorite one, my favorite chapter is Pass the Blunt. Of course, that's mine. But it's really not about an actual blunt. Like when you reading it, it breaks down different things. So I just thought that that was really interesting. And I was able to, when I first started writing, I started writing in the book. So the first chapter, you'll see like my handwriting, but then I stopped because I was like, if I want to share this with somebody, I don't want them all in my diary, because it's really a diary. And so I started a Google Doc, of course, one of my favorites, and just started writing in there. And it's things that you can go back and do. Like you could do it once a month, you could do it every 3 months, because it's questions that will probably change as you grow. So your answers will change as you go. So I do love that book, and I've been sharing bits and pieces. I'll take a picture and be like, see, this is why you need to get the book.
Oh, I'm really happy that you read it twice.
Yes.
And like you are answering the questions. It is a joy to me because people will just like randomly hit me and be like, I read your book. And I'm like, oh, and they were like, no, like it, like I really loved it and it really helped me. And I'm like, well, that was the purpose of it. Yes. And that was the point of it. And that's why I wrote it. So as you speak of growth, you know, the point that you said, the THC, which is also one of my, listen, the whole book is my favorite. It's only 36 pages. Like, it's only 36 pages. So people are like, what's your favorite part? I'm like, the whole damn thing.
Right. Exactly.
Excuse me, because I'm like, it's only 36 pages. I say it's a short read, but a must read, but it literally is my little that I am giving you, but you are to gain so much from that. And to me, I just felt like the title came to me later on. The reason why I started writing the book was I had went to a conference in DC. It was called the BYOB, Build Your Own Brand. And Andrew Nguyen, he is the one who created it and put it on. And I went. It was my first time going. And I was like, you know what? And this is crazy, crazy, crazy true story. And I think I only told like 2 people this story. So I'm about to tell you ladies. So
exclusive.
Yes. Hey. So when I got there to the event, I had missed the first day because I was catching up with a friend. So the second day I got there and I was like, you know what? I was like, God, this is a really good event for me. This is for me. This is to allow me to grow. This is allow me to push myself because I was in a space of, I want to discover more of who I am. And if I only have me to present to the world, how should I brand and package me? So it's build your own brand, but I'm like, I'm me. So actually it's build your own me. It's build me, because that's why I was there. And I said, while I'm here, one person that I follow or follows me is going to walk up to me and we're going to connect and we're going to build a good friendship because we are both in the space to be receiving and accepting of each other. And we both are in a space that we both need to grow. And I kid you not, I went there, I checked in, I got my badge. I was like, oh, follow up. I took a photo. I took a few photos because I was like, oh, it's a selfie stand. Let me get these flicks off real quick. And I turned the corner and there was a girl there and she was like, looking at me like, wait, I know you. And I was like, you do? And she was like, I do. And I was like, you do? And she was like, I do. And I was like, I don't know you. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know you at all. And she goes, oh my God, you're Mocha Shell. And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, well, I was like, you got to give me a hug. And she was like, what? And she was like, oh, I wanted a hug. We hugged and I said, what is your name? And she tells me her name, Shannon. We actually became really good friends. She's an author as well. And we connected. We hung out the whole day. We were like also going to the same classes. Like I didn't know her, because she was there the day before me. So the classes that I had wanted to go to were mainly on like that Sunday that I wanted to go to. So, and she was like, oh, I'm going to this. We connected. She was like, we're going to the same classes. And I was like, okay, great. She introduced me to 2 other women. We went and had lunch that day. Actually 3 other women, all 4 of us have been really good friends. We created this separate chat because 3 of them are in Canada. She was in Georgia, so Florida at the time. Anyway, we created this chat and we built this friendship. On the plane, so I sat that night. Oh, and I also was in my hotel, so she allowed me to stay with her.
Oh, wow.
This stranger that I met, that I actually asked God for me to meet.
Right.
You feel me? Like I set this in
motion.
I manifested this and I said it will align because we're both in the space for this.
Right.
We met. I stayed with her in her hotel that night because I was like, girl, I gotta go to hotel, whatever. I was about to book and she was like, nah, you can stay with me.
Right.
And it was amazing. And I was like, so she asked me, she was like, you don't have a book, you don't have, like, what are you working on? I was like, actually, because I had already said I was going to write a book. So I was like, actually, I am, but it didn't come to me yet. And she was like looking at me like, what? And I was like, no, I am writing one.
It's in the process.
It just has not hit me yet.
Right.
But it's coming.
Right.
I was like, but it's coming. And that night, like the next day I go, back to catch my flight. And I was like, God, like you forever show up for me. Like you are forever providing. Like the universe is always providing. You are always there. Like out of this whole conference, I said I was going to meet one person and we was going to connect.
Right.
And it was going to be genuine and we did. So and then she told me, like, you've inspired me. All of these things that I did for her, and I didn't even know her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it hit me. And on the flight home, I was like, you know what? I'm going through my own journey. She going through her journey. There's so many of us going through journeys. There's no books to navigate how to do this. Yes. There's not a person that's out there that's just having genuine conversation with people and trying to get them to know them. Because in the process of discovering who you are, it's like, we are so magical, like we're powerful, but it's like, we can manifest everything that we want. And to me, I'm like, that is amazing. The little bit that I've gained just by tapping into me and understanding how my God works in my life and continuing to develop that relationship with God as well as my relationship with myself, I was like, I need to write. This is what I'm going to write.
Right.
I want to write a book that I, the author, have a conversation with the reader. I want them to interact with this. I want this to be a journey to your self-discovery through my personal stories, but as a conversation. Because in life, when we meet people, we should leave each person we meet learning something about ourselves, learning something about them, or wanting to be curious enough to explore more.
Right. That's important.
Like every interaction that we have with someone should be meaningful in some way or another. So I'm like, and it's just it's always a little bit of time. Like I could be with you for 5 minutes and you could have given me the best laugh that I've had all week in 5 minutes and I needed that.
That's so true.
That's fact.
That is so true. I've literally, when you call in like different companies and you usually are on hold for a long time and like, they talk to people on the phone all day, but I'm always like, hey, happy Monday. How you doing? And this one lady, girl, I kid you not, a call that should have been maybe less than 5 minutes, we probably was on the phone for about 30 minutes just talking about everything else. And I was like, well, girl, you going to have a good day. And it ends up like, you never know how you made somebody's day. Just having those small conversations or just asking them, how are you doing?
So true.
Because people be having so much stuff going on. Like,
that is so true. And as you were talking, Mocha and Andy, I was just like, this is giving me chills. I really almost want, I've almost just facilitated. I want y'all, or you, Mocha, specifically, to kind of have a corner. Like, if you just could just talk for 2 minutes a day. I mean, I feel like it's a stretch, but just give a little nugget. Give a little nugget on Instagram. I'm there.
Corner, huh?
I'm here for it.
Exactly. Everybody.
Yes, and be like, all right, I'm here today, just drop some gems,
I was literally like, that is so true. You never know who you're gonna be crossing paths with. You never know what your smile can do for someone. You never know. So
that is true. Everybody asks me that too. Everybody is like, okay, when we gonna get these gyms? When you gonna do a podcast? When you going? And I'm like, look, y'all, I don't be having shit to say unless y'all be giving me shit to say. Like, you just want me to be a part.
That's important too. That's important too, because to understand that you're not trying to waste space or time, right? Because you have a gift, and it's important to realize that, only to speak when you actually have something of importance to say.
Exactly.
And then not chasing, cloud or, the next fad or whatever the case may be. Because also too, even with doing what we do, we have to protect our energy, protect our time. Because, even though we're doing Zoom for this last season here, the energy still are transferable.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's really good that you're really in tune and self-aware. Like, you know what? I don't mind talking because I got these gems. But typically it comes out with, when you're having an interaction with someone.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just thinking about the little people, the younger generation that doesn't have that OG auntie.
But it could be wrapped around. She can make a when you have conversation, make a note. And then drop these things,
and then I drop
make
them.
and then that way,
I know, but I'm saying
you could give back to the young people, but really, Angelisa wanted for herself,
right? I'm just being selfish.
I'm gonna get you, girl. So
Angelisa gonna get a voice note every morning like this is
right. That's all I need. That's all I need. Nice and soothing. Just a little text
so
note.
Funny. One of my good friends does that too. Like I'll come up with random thoughts usually. All right. So a lot of my gyms come from me having a lot of reflections and talks with God.
Right.
Like as you start to talk things out, as you start to really that's the point of the book too. Like as you start to write in it, or as you start to read, or as you start to reflect, it's like, wait, I can ask this question to myself, or let me go deeper into this. And then it's like something comes to you and you like, oh, that was so pivotal right there, or that's what I needed. So those moments happen for me and I write them down. I have one of my friends, she's like, when you write them down, send them to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, all of them. She goes, because I tweet them. Like, you're my friend A, I tweet them. She goes, also, I keep them for nuggets. I write them on. She shows me her mirror. She was like, these are all your sayings. And I was like,
oh my gosh, I love that. You know what? As you were talking, I thought about this. Slide off my couch.
That reminds me of while Andy's getting up, of being Mary Jane, when she would write on the notepad. And she'll put it on the mirror. Yeah.
Oh, don't mind my nails. I'm trying to hide it. But it's called Vision Words.
Oh.
And it's literally sticky notes. And this can be something you do. Little quick things. So I just hang them up around my house.
That is good.
Abundance, but I literally bought a pack, and it has some for kids. It has like a whole different thing. And I'll make sure to put the link in the bio. But they also do customized sticky notes. So that's maybe you'll look into.
Okay. But look at that. Look at that gems. Like, look at that. Just dropping them. I love it. Yes. Link it in the bio and then text it to me.
Yes.
Right.
So I have it.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Like I stick them on the kids like notebooks in the morning when they were going to school, you know, like on the lunch box or on their door. So then they'll get up and have like a little note. So somebody jamming outside.
That's a good idea too. My mother used to write me. I'm so corny, but I loved it. She used to write me notes in my lunch pail, like positive notes. I don't know if I don't know why, but she just used to put them in my note, like, have a good day. You're more than a conqueror. Jesus loves you, whatever. So
those are dope.
I loved it. And you know, you as kids, you remember that.
You do, because my mom used to do it for me. As she would check my homework, I would come to random pages in my notebook and I would have a note from her. So it would be like, I wouldn't even know it, but like a month later, like once I got to that page or whatever, I would have a note from my mom. But they were all, so you remember them and they make you feel good.
They do. Do you know of anyone doing almost like a study with your book? Like maybe working together and doing like a, I don't know, like a self-help journey
like
with your book?
I don't know any studies, but I do know personal people who have reached out and said that they've had a lot of growth after reading it and doing it. So that's one of the things that makes me feel really good. I'm like, there is no amount of money. Like people are like, you wrote this book, are you gonna go? I'm like, I wrote this book and released it in love. Right. Like I wrote it to release it in love. Like whoever finds it, whoever reads it, it's for them. Like I'm not trying to be rich off of this at all. Like it's for you, because you know what really what pays me, like what's the wealth in it, is when somebody reaches out to me and is like, I decided to go back to school. I decided to focus on me, or I was very suicidal and I started reading this and I'm in a better space with myself. That to me, to be able to influence someone to want to be better for themselves, there's no price on that to me. And I'm like, that's beautiful. So I don't know any studies. I hope that there are people out there like getting to think groups getting together to be better, but people who reach out to me like that.
Sound like
there was a few book clubs that were, and I believe one of the girls wanted to reach out, but then COVID happened. So I'm like, we can still do a virtual one, but you know, trying to get people together during this time is easy, but also hard. You know, and that's because people have their mental has been tested during this time. A lot of people.
Yes, to say the very least.
Yeah.
Yes. With that, with you pouring into other people and just women specifically, who are some women who have poured into you to have built you up?
Family first. So my mom is my biggest pourer. She has poured into me immensely. My grandmother, whether she knows it or not, she is full of gems and has lived with me for forever. And the one thing that I carry and I remember is you got one mind, use it.
Right.
And I'm like, it sounds so ignorant at some points. It's like, that's not even a complete sentence, but it don't need to be.
No, right.
And it's so like, I do have my own mind.
So you need to use it, because trust me, everybody do not use their mind. Like a lot of people don't have common sense, and that's what she probably was saying. Like,
and a lot of people can impression you to do something else. Like, be strong within your own mind.
Right? Yes.
Continue to be strong in your own mind, and don't allow nobody to put nothing on you. So yeah, I don't have too many mentors, but it's the people that are around me, like other women. They don't know that they pour into me, but I do let them know, because I give people in my life, women, flowers, their verbal flowers, as much as I can. I let them know, all women, like, y'all are everything to me. I hope that I'm everything to you. We are sisters. I don't have sisters, so I'm the only girl. I have 2 brothers, so I'm like, I ain't have no sisters. My mama wasn't my friend until I got grown. You know, I'm like, so
right.
It's those friends around me that constantly pour into me as well, and I let it be known. You know, you ladies, I see you guys doing and going after your health goals. You're walking, like, it doesn't have to always constantly be talking to pour into someone. Just to be able to look at someone and be inspired by that person, to me, that's a pour.
Yes.
I love
that.
That's true.
Don't have me get teary-eyed, because I'm upset.
Please don't, because I cry at the drop of a dime. Like, y'all know I'm a baby.
Yes, me too. It's so irritating.
Just be over here.
Right.
He's like, yeah.
Trying to get it together.
I love that.
It's a just as high energy as I am as well, like all the pouring and everything that I do. I do enjoy just being home, right? Because that's my recharge time. That's my, me time. So this quarantine has been so beneficial for me. Like, it's, like you ladies with the podcast and just your everyday lives and just being busy and being in the scene. It's just, not saying that we always on one, but we exert so much of that good energy when we are out, that when we're home, we have to conserve that energy. And because we sometimes are always on the go and just boom, boom, boom all the time, it's like I didn't realize how much energy I was exerting until I sat my ass down.
Right.
And started to funnel that energy back into myself. It's like, it's been so, like, I've had talking about Give a Little, Gain a Lot, and people are like, when's your next book? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's coming. Because there's been some pivotal moments, especially in the last 2 months, that has really shown me, like, God has really shown me myself, and has really shown me that I still had parts of me that needed to heal that I didn't even know. That I didn't even know was damaged. You know what I mean?
Listen.
Like, and that's still an ever part of growing. I go back to my book as well, and I look in it, because there's a part when I say, okay, come back in 6 months and tell yourself about yourself in 6 months.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I'm like, I come back and I tell myself about myself in 6 months, and to look back in the space that I was to the space that I'm in now, like, I get so emotional my damn self, because I'm like, we did grow. We did have a lot of other stuff that we needed to constantly heal through, and that we didn't know. We still do got triggers.
Right.
But now I understand how to navigate through those triggers, and there's a lot of understanding. That's why I say, when I go to 0 to 100, like, it ain't gonna be Jesus this, but I'm a positively check your ass.
And
right.
People forget that, as loving and as kind as we can be, it's like, don't forget that it's another side. So don't abuse all of this love and
the goodness
that I'm spreading. Because some people will try to take you there, and like you said, it's gonna be so, you're gonna be like, did she just cuss me out? Oh.
Oh, I did. You felt it in your spirit, didn't you? You felt that in your spirit.
And I didn't even say a cuss word. So, but
that's a proper check.
That's
a proper read right there.
And then you be like, and you have a good day and take care. God
bless.
Right.
And I'm done.
Right. God bless.
I told somebody, she was like, somebody hit me with this, all these words, and saying all of this. I was like, just hit them with wonderful. She was like, I was like, wonderful. She was like, all you want me to do is respond with one. I said, yep. I said, do you know what wonderful means? It means extremely good. Listen, sis, I'm wonderful. And that means so many. I'm good on everything that you just said, everything that you just did. I'm wonderful. Keep it pushing.
And that's what we have to like keep encouraging one another with those type of responses, those type of you know, I guess solutions really, you know, when people are getting on your nerves or come at you sideways instead of you going like totally left, you know, which is another way of, you know, being powerful, you know, and also too, hopefully it will resonate with them at a later time, I'm sure. Like, dang, this person just read me or got at me like this, but it was not negative, it was positive, you know. And so that's something that we just need to continue to do.
It is. You know, I feel like I call it checking people with healthy boundaries.
Because you have to set up some boundaries. Even your loved ones, your close friends, you have to set boundaries.
And whatever that is for you is what you define it as. But I'm going to check you. Because, you know what I mean? It's like people is like, oh, you don't respond back quick. That's my time to respond back to a text message. I'm going through my own. Also, it lets people know sometimes to be a little bit more mindful of others.
Yes.
We lack mindfulness. A lot of us lack mindfulness.
The consideration. Be at zero.
I was just down 2 days, and I was like, you know what? I told them, I was like, I can't do a podcast today. I said, I look a mess. I feel a mess. I need to be quiet. And I was in my bed all day yesterday. And like you said, I didn't realize how tired I was because I'm always out. I'm always on the go. And when I am out, you know, I want to be smiling. Like, I don't want to put out no bad energy because, like you said earlier, we all pick up on that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just sit in here and I'll see y'all in a little bit on Zoom.
Yeah, well, my energy is bad. I try not to spread it. I try not to even spread it within my household. I try to like just check myself, or, you know, how they say, like, announce yourself when you coming in, like, okay, bad vibes are here right now.
Right.
So I'm in a mood, you know. So
well, that's that THC right there. That's that THC.
That's real.
So,
because spirits are transferable, and the devil is trying to kill, steal, and destroy. So it is very important that we always just hit somebody with something real quick and keep it pushing. Because they will mess around and mess up your whole day if you let them.
Your whole day. You ain't trying to have that. Like, I'm not trying to have that.
Right.
So.
Right.
Too much of good spirits to have that. But yeah. So. I don't even know. You asked me a question, and then we went on this whole spiel of stuff, and I think I answered the question.
Oh my gosh!
No, you definitely answered it, and then some. So you answered it. So yeah, I was just gonna say, what's next? So you did mention that, you know, there's a book that's being deposited in your spirit. It's not done being deposited, so it's not ready there yet. So that's manifesting, that's coming. What else do you have on the horizons?
You know what? I don't know.
That's good.
That's a good space to be in, because it's an open canvas right now. Like, I don't know what is to come, but I do know that it will be full of intent and love.
Hey.
and
we're here for it.
Yes.
And we're definitely here for it.
Because that means you're taking the time to actually provide and develop something genuine, something that was really birthed inside of you, not something for publication or money. So that's really big, that you can just openly say, you know what? When he give it to me, I'll give it to you.
Yep.
I love that.
And that's always what it is. It's always, it's a level. What's to come from me is more discovery of me, because I am in such a good space and within my own self that it, like, not to say I wasn't in a good space before, like, it was good, but I'm better.
Right.
And it's like, if I'm in my better, what is my best?
Yes. I love that.
And it keeps me curious to getting there. And it's like working on me, continuing to like really live in my own faith, continue to read my Bible and understand it for myself. Like, I never thought that I would be in a space to talk so freely about God. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but you know, sometimes it's taboo to be like, oh my gosh, she into Jesus.
Right.
Oh God, okay, she about to hit us with a scripture. It's like, no.
Right.
I am me. God knows my heart.
Yep.
Y'all gonna get this message how I see fit. And if it got a few cusses in it, it's okay, because they ain't nothing but words.
Right.
But I'm happy. So I'm in a space of continuing to allow things to download into my spirit, to allow me to manifest, to allow me to cultivate something that is actually genuine and good. And when it is needed, it will come forth. And it's nice to know that there is a demand for it. It's nice to know that there are people out there that want that and that seek that out. And it makes me feel good. So there is a book coming. I just don't know when, but that is something. And then I have personal goals. Like, I'm truly working on like some personal goals that I want to do that I don't think will be lucrative, or they might be, but
they might. Don't say that.
Yeah, they might be.
You're doing it for yourself, and you never know what Jesus has in store. So
that's true. That is true. So, just kind of, I want to dabble in some cosmetic skincare stuff, because you know your girl skin be glowing.
Yes, it does.
So that's like another venture that I want to dabble into, which might be. It downloaded on my spirit the other day, and I'm in the mood that if it I love that you said that, Tenilej, download into my spirit, because I woke up the other night and was just writing down, and I was like, this is something that might be in the future for me, and I like it. But I got some things in work, like some good projects that I'm working on that hopefully I get to present to the world within 6 months to a year. So I have that I'm working on. I don't want to divulge, give it out, but there are some things that in my professional life as well as my personal life that are merging. And I like that. Like, I like balance. So
and that's a good, not problem, but that's something, like a good problem to have when the two are merging, because this is something that I've been talking about, where I'm like, how does my 9 to 5 tie into my life? Because we're spending majority of our time there. So I need all of this to intertwine so I can be happy at work and happy in my home life and not feeling stressed in either
You
one.
sound like me a year ago.
Yes, look, hey, well, thank you for my book, because I'm actually over here writing, because I feel like that's probably about the time frame from Babes in the Bay to now is like that for me to rewrite,
Yeah.
So
because now you're in a different space and you want more for yourself. It's like, okay, you got me thinking, and now that I'm thinking, what else more do I want? Okay, this is what I want. How am I going to achieve this? How am I going? And it's curious enough to get your wheels going. So I'm happy for you.
Look, let me get my journal. All right, y'all done with the podcast? Because I got stuff I need to do. I need to go right now. I'm in the mood.
Oh, I love it. But that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. When I was in that space, and just to circle back, October of 2019, I was in that same space. Actually, I was in that space for longer than that, but that October was my breaking point. And I was like, my personal life and my professional life don't match.
Right.
And I want them to. Like, in my personal life, I'm in a very selfless act of like selflessness and giving and being there for people. And my professional life, I'm in a medical field, so I'm also in the same. selflessness and giving and being there for people, but it's not matching the way that I need it to match. I'm not utilizing my talents and my gifts from my personal life and my professional life. And I need that. And I also said, I need God to be in all aspects of my life. So if he's present within me, he's going to be present in my professional as well as my personal. Yeah. And that's how I'm showing up. And I'm just talking now, but October, I was like, look, Michelle, what we going to do? What are we going to do? And I was like, we going to quit. And I was like, I ain't had the savings that I needed. I didn't have jobs lined up. Right. But I was like, look, if I'm going to focus on me, I was like, I can build being a vision catalyst, that whole brand that I want to build and who I am. I was like, but I don't have to build that because I do that now. Like, I am that person that helps you take your vision to the next level. Like, I do that now. I was like, I can monetize, I can link up with more brands, I can do, and I can work that. Right. We gonna quit. So, second week in October, I put my notice in and I was like, and I've been at my job for, at that point, 7 years, because it's 7.5 years now. So I was like, I'm out. Right. And my boss was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. She was like, do you have a job lined up? I don't. Right. She was like, you don't, To quit, I was 35. No job lined up. The savings not what I want, but I said I will not compromise my happiness for a paycheck. Like, I'm not about to do it, and I won't. I'll work at Target. I get a 20% discount at Target, and I love to be in Target. I will go work at Target.
That's Angelisa's store.
I was like, I will go work at Target and be okay. I'm good. Right. Like, it's not about that. So, position myself, and I had an actual real ass conversation with my boss. And after we had this conversation, she was like, well, I want to, like, what role would you want? Right. Look at that. Well, since you asking, I already had a role drafted up 6 months ago. And here it is. Here it is. And we went back, and forth of roles and what I wanted and how I wanted it, and your girl positioned herself into something real good. Yes, you manifested it. But that's what I manifested that, and I was willing to walk away from it, and also willing to, at that point, just say, this is who I am. This is what I am worth, and this is what I deserve. Right. This is what I want.
She was like, well, what do you want? Because I'm not ready for you to go. I need you.
So, and if y'all want me to stay, if you want me to be here, this is what I am asking. Right.
This is what I need. This is what I require.
This is what and prayed on it, wrote it down. Let me tell you, I got everything I asked for and then more.
Praise God.
So I was like,
you have to be willing to step out on faith. And then
the whole thing.
Yeah, and also too, they always say, Angelisa and Andrea always say, write things down. And also you have to vision what you want. Because I'm in the same type of thing with my job. So we'll see how that flows. But that's really good to hear this story.
I've told a few friends this story, and a few friends have also positioned themselves into what they want. Right. Because your character speaks for you. Your character will always precede anything else. And if you're in a position and they know you're who you are, if they know she's a good worker, she goes above and beyond, she take care of her business, I don't gotta ask her for nothing. She's on her P's and Q's, and all she's asking is for, more flexibility or more this or more that. And they have never showed me that they could not handle anything that was put in front of them. This is the time for you to ask for what you want. Also, be prepared to walk away. Right.
Yes.
And then you have to, and that's the scary thing. That is a very scary thing. But that is when faith comes in, because you got to be like, And you got to think about where else in my life was I at a low point? Where else in my life was I at a crossroads? And I really pulled in on my faith, and where did I come out at?
Right.
So if I'm at that same weird crossroad right now with work, and I know that I'm where I need to be, and they're not willing to give it to me, am I willing to leave, or am I willing to just settle and sacrifice myself to be here for what?
Right.
Like, if I have to sacrifice to be here, I'm good. I could be bad all by myself. I don't need this.
Yeah.
Right.
So we in a position to ask for what we want, and have faith that if you don't get it, walk away from it, because it wasn't rejection is just a redirection.
Yep.
So like, you're in the same space that I was in.
Wait, say that again. Rejection is what?
A redirection.
Yes, that's the caption. Rejection is a redirection. Okay. Yes.
Because it's like, you're not rejecting me. How you gonna reject me from something that I'm good at?
Yeah.
You just redirecting me to something else that's better for me, and that's fine. So, like I said, there's been a lot of things that has happened since my first book that has done nothing but added to a lot of the things that are in this book.
Right.
Right.
You know, I mentioned walking by faith in there. Am I walking by faith, or am I just walking?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what does that truly mean to walk by faith? It's like, that's why I say it's magic. However you want to look at it. I tell people it's magic. I tell people but it's the believing in the unknown. And if you've already received things from the believing in the unknown, then keep on believing in the unknown, because it's been doing nothing but good shit for you.
Hello?
Period. Period.
Yes.
Period. It's like when you think like, oh, I ain't got money to pay this bill, but then all of a sudden you got money to pay the bill. How did it happen?
Right. Things start to maneuver, like, and things become flexible. You like, oh, well, this is done, and this. Oh, well, okay then. Well, let me say an amen. You know, like, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's powerful, and that's why we have this podcast. That's why we have these conversations. And it's just so good. I mean, I'm so glad that you told that story, because Andy she has like literally been talking about how to make the two coexist. And now I'm in like trying to see like, what does that look like for me? So it's just very powerful to hear you talk about that, and to hear like, well, you know what? Things did transition for me. They did happen. But also to know for other people, if it doesn't happen for you in that same way, you be prepared to let it all go, because it may not have been meant to be. So,
but you also discover something new about you. You don't know what you don't know, and you can't understand what you haven't seen, you know, like,
or what you haven't experienced. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like, if I don't break out, or if I don't walk away, I'll never know what it felt like to actually walk away. I never know how that would make me feel. I never know if it would empower me, if it would crumble me. You don't know.
No.
But it's like, am I willing to take that journey to discover more of me?
Yeah.
You know, my favorite saying is, the only person that can stop you is you. The only person that can stop you from being great is you. So don't play yourself. Like, that is my favorite saying to say.
Yep.
Oh, you froze.
Oh, she froze in. That's cold.
She did. She got to come back in.
Oh, she gonna be like this.
Okay, she froze with that finger up. Like, hold on. Let me chime in.
Let me tell you this. She needs to pop back in soon. But yes, it's
now back in. I feel like I'm definitely in that point or place in my life where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable, and now I need to start getting back uncomfortable again and figuring out what's next. So I'm definitely at that crossroads now where I'm like, and COVID has definitely helped me figure out what I want to do. And like the podcast, I'm like, okay, so I'm loving doing the podcast. I love just, you know, meeting new people and having these conversations, because growing up, I didn't really have somebody that I talked to about, you know, different things. And so now I'm like, let's utilize this platform and have these conversations. So I'm excited for what's next.
Because why not? Yes, I'm excited for too what's next. Like, and that's the beautiful thing in it. That's the beautiful thing in us. Is like, this time has been a very crazy time, but it's also been like a huge blessing for a lot of people. It has been a huge, this whole time has been a self-discovery.
Yeah.
Like this whole time, it's just like, I discovered that I like juicing, and I was like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
oh, look.
I'm like, oh, I really do enjoy juicing. I never would have got into this if we weren't sheltering in place for another month or 5. Like, I never
it slowed me down, definitely, and I'm happy about that because I didn't realize how I was always on the go.
Yep.
Like, always doing something. And I was like, I needed this time. I needed to slow down to see what was around me and what I wanted to do. So,
and to listen to yourself, like just sit with your thoughts.
Yes.
So we're so busy sometimes that we don't even get to sit with our own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people that do sit with their thoughts is like, oh God, okay, I'm crazy. But then it's like, am I crazy or am I, you know what I mean? Am I crazy?
Look, like,
let me write this down.
Girl, me and my journals, I be reading stuff. I said, oh, what was I trying to say? But, you know.
That's the beauty of going back. I've also been getting into, like, I write, but also tone and inflection, like on words. So I've been recording myself. Like if I'm in the middle, like I'll make voice notes just of my day. Like it's a audio journal or whatever. So, and then I'll go back and I'll listen. So I just went back and listened to October the other day because I took 2 weeks off of work. So I went back and listened to it and I was like, the space that we were in when we recorded this to compare to where we are now, it was like, whoo. It's like sometimes you can't see your weight loss unless you compare 2 pictures, right? Sometimes you can't see your mental growth unless you compare journal writings, unless you compare, you know what I mean, where you were audio wise or visually wise, where you were. It's like we don't sometimes see that because we've recognized triggers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're navigating through that. So things that triggered us don't trigger us anymore. So it's like, but we don't recognize it in a moment like, oh shit, that's a growth moment for me.
Man, that reminds me of that song, Triggers by Janae Aiko. I hope I said that right. But you'll have to listen to that. But
girl, that is my song.
Yes, I like it. Her whole album is good.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, this was nice. I guess Tenilej is back on.
She not. I don't think she can. Maybe her phone died.
Maybe. But
so we'll see. She hasn't texted anybody, has she?
Nope.
I think so.
I know we just went on the talking. How does it go? Like I know you got to edit everything out.
Right.
I do. But this was a good vibe.
Yes,
this was a good one. So.
I sure do appreciate y'all. I know I was walking the whole time.
There she go. Hello.
Yes, I love it.
Ooh, child.
She came back on later.
Ooh,
I was like, what happened? All of a sudden, it was just gone.
You were frozen. Like
so I was frozen. So I was still in my screen. I was able to still move around, but y'all was like stuck. And then it went black. I was like,
we were like, oh, where'd she go? Oh, her phone died. We don't know. Right.
That's correct.
I don't know what happened.
But it's all right. Wi-Fi. Yeah. No, we're going to be able to meet together one day.
One day.
You better hit that robot.
Girl, that's what it be like. And it's so crazy because everybody be the same thing. I watched, I think Angelisa turned me onto this show. It's on YouTube, The Grapevine. And they've been doing everything on Zoom. So usually they would have like a ton of people meeting together. and only have like a select few talking, but it'd be a lot of people together. But so now everybody's on Zoom. And then one episode I was watching yesterday, they was having some difficulty. They was like, can we edit this out? Even though they didn't.
Right.
So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening.
It is happening.
Yes.
So, oh my goodness. It was a pleasure being with you ladies today.
Yes.
Even if it was our second time.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Girl, Tenilej told me that, and I was just like, I'm done.
I was hurt because that was like my favorite episode.
Yes.
I know. I didn't even get to hear it. I'm sure y'all listened to it, but I was like, she told me.
Barely. And so, but I don't even like me and electronics right now are just not friends. So I'm just leave it at that. But I do appreciate you. We appreciate you coming back on and just being like so gracious about it all. It's really appreciative.
I know. You told me, and I was like, it's cool, girl. She told me, she's like, we lost the episode. I'm like, it's cool. She was like, no, it's not cool. I'm like, nah, it's cool. She was like, it is not cool. I'm like, it is cool. We can re-record. But it was such I'm like, girl, I could talk for days. It don't matter. Like,
right, you got this.
Listen, what God say, just open, I don't know what I'm going to say, open your mouth, the words will come. Like, it is good.
Right.
It is all right.
But you know what? It's that type of, thoughtfulness, mentality, and spirit and personality that you have I was able a little bit to be like, okay, well, she said she's not tripping. Even though, like, I'm still tripping on the inside, like, what? But
she was.
I was like,
I know she was. I could feel it. I could feel the energy through the messages. She was like, and then the voice, I was like, it is, sis, it is okay. Like, legit, it is okay. I'm like, whatever that episode was, it's fine. This episode gonna be fire too. Like, it is okay. I was more upset that you lost everything on your computer. I'm like, damn, that episode.
Yeah, and I still haven't retrieved it back.
On the computer.
Yeah, I haven't retrieved anything. So I'm gonna see what Apple has to say tomorrow, because it's somebody who does these type of things for a living for a big company, and he was unable to do anything. He was like, there's something on there that's like moving around that won't remove. Ooh. So he was like, maybe if you take it to Apple, they could at least, maybe they could take stuff off. So if we're supposed to have the other episode, we will drop them both.
Right.
Why not?
Why not? But I was not tripping.
But I appreciate you sincerely.
I had to hit, I'm like, let me send her a voice note so that she can hear me and hear this love in the back of my voice. It is okay, sugar. Like, it is okay.
I said, oh my God, you call me sugar. I love that so much. I feel so loved.
It is okay. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, you guys have a good one. And
yes, until next time. This is the last episode. So thank you. We close season 2.
Of course. Congratulations on a season 2. To have a season finale on a season 2. Let's acknowledge that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Until next time, y'all.
Yes.
Bye.